Hi everyone, it's Marcy, and I'm here. I had several people request a tutorial for this honeybees and lavender folio that I had made using Cara Brandon's kit. And so I thought I would start the tutorial. This time I'll be using her Southwest Succulents kit, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I have it printed out. I wasn't completely prepared. But here's Cara's Southwest Succulents kit. I'm just going to do a quick flip through. I will have her YouTube channel and Etsy shop and Facebook group linked below. But she made this in celebration of Arizona's birthday, or birthday of statehood, which was February 14th. And I thought this would make a wonderful little folio. My son lives in Arizona, and so I'm going to make this and then just hang on to it in the hopes that we will get to go see him again one day soon. So all of these pages, some of these did not print well. Lovely background page with hummingbirds. Okay, so that is the kit. And then last week, or I'm sorry, Friday of last week, Cara Brandon had her Friday freebies, which I've already shown you, or her Friday freebie. And these are the tags that I made using her Friday freebie. They'll go perfectly in this folio that I'm going to make. So I've got those. Okay. Let's get started. Now, I'm going to make this very similar to the honeybees and lavender, but not exactly the same, because when I did this, I did it kind of as a prototype. And so I'll be changing things somewhat as I go along, but it will be very similar to this. The basics of it will be the same. Okay, so the biggest difference right off the bat is last time I used one file folder. This time I'm going to use two. And one of them for right now, I'm just going to set aside. The first thing I want to do is I want to take my file folder, and I'm using just a letter size file folder, and I want to cut it to 8.5 inches tall. Now, where you cut, I want to keep my tab and everything, but that's really entirely up to you. The other thing I will mention is these folders that I'm using for this one are actually heavyweight folders, and that is not what I used for my other one, but I'm trying to use these up. Okay, so that's one, and I'm going to leave that cut as is. Now I'm going to take, since I've got my cutter out, I'm going to take this one, and I'm also going to cut it to 8.5 inches. But then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to cut off the spine edge. Okay. Then I want to take one flap and I want it to be 4 3/4 to the tallest part of the envelope. Now, the sizes that I'm giving you are what I'm doing. The sizes really don't matter. And of course, I'm hanging on to all of my cutoffs. And then I'm going to take the other side and I'm going to cut it to 4 3/4 to its tallest edge. Okay, that way I can put my cutter away and not have to pull it back out. We are, however, going to need the scoreboard. Okay. So now we've got our 8.5 inch, or our file folder cut down to 8.5 inches. On the honeybees and lavender, I left a 1/2 inch spine. On this one, I'm going to have a little bit bigger spine. I'm going to fold it on how the file folder has the little scores in them already. I'm going to go to the farthest score on this one. And on this folder, that will give me about a 3/4 inch spine. And because these are, excuse me, heavy-duty folders, I'm really having to score hard. Okay. So now I've got my spine. Now I'm going to come into my scoreboard and I'm going to put the bottom part of my spine right up to that 0 mark, right up against the top and right up against the left-hand edge. And I want that to stay snug in that corner. Then I'm going to score at 5 1/4 inches. And again, the scoring on this folder is difficult because it is so heavyweight. And I'm going to score again at 5 1/2 inches. Okay. Then I'm going to flip it over the other way so that my other spine, the other side of my spine rather, is right up in this corner again. And again, I'm going to score at 5 1/4 inches and 5 1/2 inches. Okay. And again, on the honeybees and lavender, I only left 1/8 of an inch score here, and I think that was a bit small. So I think the 1/4 inch is going to work much better. And now I'm going to, again, because my file folder is heavyweight, I'm going to argue with it a little bit to get my score line's really burnished. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay. All right, that gives me a good start at loop. Except that it's not straight. Let's try to straighten that up a bit. If I'm able. If not, it's not the end of the world. Okay. Now, because I made my score, because I did a 1/4 inch on the sides here, as opposed to an 1/8 of an inch, and because I gave my, made my spine 3/4 of an inch instead of 1/2 an inch, what has happened is my little side flaps are not as big as they were on this one. Okay? So what I will do is, to compensate for that, let's see which way. I'm going to use the other file folder that I cut. And they will be attached here, and I will have these nice pockets. And then when it flips open, I will have this area, nice area to work with. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is I want to, sorry, I'm trying not to get ahead of myself as I'm doing this. I've got some cloth medical tape that I'm going to use to reinforce my spine. And I'm not going to have you sit here and watch me put it on, but everywhere that I've got a spine, here on the 1/4 inch, both the 1/4 inch spines, and on the 3/4 inch spine, I'm going to put some of this medical tape on the outside and the inside to reinforce my spines. And this tape, I have found it does take ink very well. Now here, I'm going to need, on my big spine, I'm going to need to use 2 pieces, 2 overlapping pieces, because it's not quite wide enough. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm going to do for all of the spines. And then once I've got that done, I'm going to go in and cover all of my surfaces with whatever background paper that I want. Where did my... or it doesn't have to be background paper, just whatever paper I want. I will not need to cover this surface because it will be folded over and hidden in a pocket. I will not need to cover this surface because it will be folded over and hidden in a pocket. These corners will all be rounded. I just find it easier to go ahead and cover it with paper and then round the corners once all the paper's already on it. These I will want covered on both sides because it will show here and here, and this one will show here and here. I'll be covering this, and then on the outside, I'll be covering this. I'll be covering all of them. This will be my front, and this will be my back. So I'm going to finish putting my tape on, and I'm going to cover with papers, and when I come back in the next video, we'll move on to the next step, and I'll show you exactly what I've done. But that is the basic, simple construction, at least to get started, and so you can start getting some papers in your folio. So until next time, everyone, please be safe, stay healthy, happy crafting, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.